What's going on, my turkeys? Welcome back to another one. Today we have yet another Kingdom Hearts visual adaptation claim. That is 2 in the past 2 weeks from yet another insider. So as these things go, just always keep in mind when we're talking about insider scoops or information, always take it with a grain of salt. A little bit uncanny that last week we had Daniel RPK coming out and saying, yes, that Kingdom Hearts visual adaptation is still in the works at Disney. Of course, back in 2020, we had numerous insiders claiming that there was a Kingdom Hearts Disney Plus series that is sort of in the works, possibly in the talks. It might actually be happening. Square Enix were asked to make a pilot using Unreal Engine, etc, etc. Now the scoop that's come out this week is a little bit more specific and is actually coming from the Diz Insider. Specifically, this is coming from Skylar Scholler, who is a known Disney insider. Skylar Scholler was also one of the original insiders back in 2020, claiming that a Disney Plus series for KH is in development. They've been providing Disney news scoops for a very long time now. In some senses, they are actually reliable and do apparently have a lot of sources with inside of Disney. I think it's also important to realize that both of these claims with Kingdom Hearts apparently still getting a visual adaptation is not so much coming from gaming insiders, but more so from the TV and movie industry. So Skylar Scholler was answering a bunch of questions on social media, and he was asked about Disney potentially getting into video game adaptations, considering that a lot of video game adaptations nowadays are really successful, especially if we look at something like the recent Fallout series, or of course, The Last of Us. He mentioned, well, to get one thing out of the way, Disney is developing an animated Kingdom Hearts movie. Well, years back, I heard the idea was to do something on Disney Plus. More recently, I've heard the goal would be big screen adaptation. But as of now, these are just rumblings and nothing has been greenlit. Disney may have more of an interest on actual gaming instead of developing movies based on video games. Prince of Persia and Need for Speed were both duds for Disney. So this is really interesting. The insiders back in 2020 were claiming that this was a Disney Plus series. The claim that we got last week from Daniel just mentioned that an adaptation was still happening, not that it was still a Disney Plus series or potentially a movie, just an adaptation. Personally speaking, I think Kingdom Hearts, because of just how much story it has, is probably better suited for that of a Disney Plus series, with 8 to 10 episodes for Season 1. If Season 1, let's say for example, is aiming to explain the story of Kingdom Hearts 1, to fit the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts 1 story, if the movie is going to focus specifically on Kingdom Hearts 1, into about 120 minutes, like 2 hours or 2.5 hours, that is pushing it. Also, imagining a Kingdom Hearts movie where Sora is traveling to the different Disney worlds that we see in KH1, it's a weird setup for a movie, whereas if you look at something like a series, for each of the episodes, you could have Sora in a different world. Now, what Skylar Scholler is saying here, though, is interesting. You sort of have to pay attention to, like, how he's worded this. In one breath, he's saying that Disney is currently developing an animated Kingdom Hearts movie, and good, the mention of animated, we don't want live action, but then follows up by saying these are just rumblings and nothing has been greenlit. So, kind of, which one is it? You have to admit though, with all of these semi-what reliable insiders from 2020 and now recently in 2024 coming out and claiming that Kingdom Hearts is getting a visual adaptation, it must mean that at some point over the past 5 or 6 years, there has been something going on at Disney with talks of making a Kingdom Hearts visual adaptation. Now, there are a few absolutes that need to happen if this is going to happen, whether it be a movie or a series. Number one, the most important of which, Tetsuya Nomura absolutely needs to be a part of the project. I do not trust Disney at all directing a Kingdom Hearts adaptation. Nomura absolutely has to be behind it. Looking at the Fallout TV series, it literally had Todd Howard as an executive producer, as well as The Last of Us with having Neil Druckmann. The same needs to happen here with Kingdom Hearts. Secondly, original voice cast. I would hate for Sora to be recasted for the sake of the adaptation. Haley Joel Osment absolutely needs to return for Sora, and the same can be said for the rest of the cast as well. You might be thinking, okay, yeah, but Haley Joel Osment is older now. How is he going to go about voicing young Sora? I get that, but at the same time too, I mean, we do have Rechain of Memories, which has young Sora literally takes place the minute Kingdom Hearts 1 ends. At the time of recording Rechain of Memories, Haley's voice had dropped, but it still kind of worked with younger Sora, so I think this is something that we can definitely just pass by. I think most fans would be fine with having an older Haley voice on the young Sora for a visual adaptation. Final Fantasy characters, this is an absolute must. It's kind of a funny thing to think about. If they are going to remain accurate to Kingdom Hearts, then that would mean that technically Final Fantasy characters are a part of a Disney film or series, which is just a really weird thing to think about. I mean, technically speaking, already Final Fantasy is a part of Disney through Kingdom Hearts, but still, to see, you know, Final Fantasy characters on the big screen as part of an official Disney movie is an even wilder thought. This needs to remain. We need to see Cloud in the Colosseum. We need to see Leon, Yuffie, Aerith in Traverse Town. Please do not remove them. They are absolutely integral to that Kingdom Hearts story. And speaking of Final Fantasy characters, I know that Sephiroth wasn't, like, integral to the story of Kingdom Hearts 1. I can see them not going ahead and putting Sephiroth in, but man, I would absolutely love a reason for Sephiroth just to be maybe sitting off in the distance in the Colosseum somewhere in the background, or he like walks past Sora at some point. Now this is more of a personal must for me, but CG animated, in the sense of how we see the CG animated openings for Kingdom Hearts, or some of the cutscenes that we see throughout Kingdom Hearts 3, yeah, I would actually want the entire movie to be in this style of animation, just like Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. I mean, personally speaking, I wouldn't mind the 2D style of animation. A Kingdom Hearts visual adaptation in the style of anime would also be really cool, but I think if we're going to sort of remain accurate to that of Kingdom Hearts, then CG is what makes the most sense. I think that format best represents Kingdom Hearts. Tarzan, the Deep Jungle. Yeah, Disney haven't retreaded back to Tarzan for a long time. Obviously, back in the day, they lost the rights to be able to use Tarzan there for a while. At this point now, Tarzan is public domain, so basically anyone can use him. Now, Disney can do whatever they want with their version of Tarzan. It would be super strange for Tarzan to just be ripped out of the mix. A little bit similar to how he was ripped out of the mix for like Chain of Memories or looking at Kingdom Hearts Coded. Both of these games meant to retread back over Sora's adventures from Kingdom Hearts 1, yet Deep Jungle just isn't there, and that back in the day was due to licensing issues. So please don't do the awkward move of removing Deep Jungle from the visual adaptation. Stay true to the source. The mysterious figure, or Xemnas. He was, of course, in Kingdom Hearts 1 through the additional Final Mix secret boss that added him into Hollow Bastion. Canonically, this takes place before Sora wraps up the story in KH1. This is important because it directly connects to that moment in Kingdom Hearts 2 where Xemnas is explaining to Roxas that he's been to see him and that he looks a lot like you, referring to that moment where Xemnas encountered Sora in Hollow Bastion and fought him. Stay true to the source. Don't go changing things. Things don't need to be changed, especially like if you go and change things, we're gonna start thinking, is this some kind of alternative parallel timeline? Is there a reason for these differences to be here that will like later on be explained in a future Kingdom Hearts installment? Honestly, Kingdom Hearts fans will lose their minds. Don't test the Kingdom Hearts fans. This most certainly breathes new life into Kingdom Hearts. It also gives people an opportunity to experience the Kingdom Hearts story that aren't particularly gamers. This would also entice all corners of Disney fans, considering that Kingdom Hearts is an amalgamation of so many different corners of Disney. I can see this being super successful if, of course, it is done right. If they stay true to the source and they specifically have Tetsuya Nomura, the father of Kingdom Hearts, behind the project. The last thing that I'm going to leave you guys with is, remember that comment that Tetsuya Nomura made last year during the Second Breath concert, mentioning that shortly after the 20th anniversary event back in 2022, there was something that happened that has determined the direction of the Kingdom Hearts series. I wonder if this possibly has something to do with some kind of visual adaptation. Who knows? Again, we still to this day have no idea what Nomura was talking about in regards to this comment. However guys, that's all for today, just keeping you in the loop with everything that is going on with Kingdom Hearts as of right now. As always, be sure to share your thoughts and opinions. However guys, I'm Cynical. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up with everything that's going on here. Check out my other social medias. Big thank you to my patrons. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and we'll talk real soon.